If you're training day in, day out, yet you choke whenever you're in a match, this video is for you. There was a time where I would be so afraid to play my matches, I would feel like throwing up. There were days where I'd hoped that the weather would get so bad that the matches would be cancelled. So today I want to share with you what I have learned that has helped me overcome this fear. If you're afraid to carry out a certain action in the game or a certain skill in the game, chances are you lack the confidence that you would be able to pull off that action. The question to ask is, why are you doubting yourself? Because if you have done the work day in, day out, what is it that is causing you to feel like you still don't have the ability to do the thing? Because if you have done it 1,000 times in training, in game, it's only one more. Now there could be a few reasons for this, and some of them include you're doing them at really low intensity, and therefore it doesn't live up to the intensity in a real match. You could be doing it half-heartedly, and therefore you know that you truly haven't mastered it. Or you could be practicing a different skill every single time, and you don't have one skill that you're truly confident in. But today I want to explore a different angle. Assuming all of the above is untrue and that you have mastered certain skills, why is it that you're still unable to carry them out in a game, and why are you so unconfident in yourself? Here's my take on this. We live in a world where the moment we open our phones, we are bombarded with all these highlight reels. We see Neymar doing rainbow flicks, we see Messi doing body feints, and they seem to do it pretty perfectly. But what the highlight reels don't actually show you is the thousands upon thousands of hours that they have done in the background to master those skills. All the times that they have fallen flat on their face, all the times where they have tried to dribble an opponent, but they have missed. We don't get to see that because those aren't highlights. And this creates a dangerous illusion. It makes you feel that these skills come very naturally to these players. And when it doesn't come naturally to you, you start doubting yourself. You start wondering if football is even for you. And the reason you're feeling left behind is because you are comparing yourself to players that are way ahead of you. And there's nothing inherently wrong with this, and I'll get to it in a second. But if you look on a broader scale, there are billions of people in the world. And you have created a world for yourself where the people that you're comparing yourself to are the ones that you idolize and are the ones that have achieved massive things in their life. You are comparing your 5-year journey to their 15-year journey. This makes you feel like you are nothing, and all the tiny steps that you have taken in order to make progress in your journey is meaningless. But on a larger scale, you have actually made way more progress than you can imagine. The reason why they say that there are people out there who would want to be in your shoes is because there are people out there who haven't even taken the first step. So maybe you aren't as far behind as you think you are. Maybe you've just created an illusion in your head that makes you feel like you're left behind. And there's nothing wrong with comparing yourself to people that are way ahead of you, or comparing yourself to the best in the world. Because after all, if you want to be the best, you have to look at what the best have done, and then you just have to replicate that. But the progress that you're making right now, it matters. And the world isn't as small as you think it is. Now, the reason why it's so hard for you to get out of this cycle of thinking that you are left behind is because you have trained your brain to revert back to this thinking process. Here's an example. Think of your phone. Whenever you get a new phone, the UI on the new phone is always different to the old one. And because it's different, it takes time for you to get used to it. So imagine that the Instagram app that you have on your new phone is on the bottom right-hand corner. The first time you turn on the phone, you would search for the app because you wouldn't know where it is. But do that again later that afternoon, do that again in the evening, and by the time tomorrow comes, you click on the app before your brain can even register what you're doing. It's less about wanting to open the app at this point and more of it becoming second nature. And football, well, it's kind of the same, because you have trained yourself to play safe for so long, your brain is just used to that. Instead of playing the through ball, you turn around and play it to your center back. Instead of taking on the full back on the wing, you turn around and pass it to your center mid. It's not that you don't want to try, it's just that your brain is so used to playing it safe that you just tend to not take the risk anymore. Now, if you were confident in your abilities, this exact thought pattern would be your strength. It will allow you to recognize which risks to take, and you would take them when necessary. So the question begs, how do you break out of this cycle? Now, the best way to break out of this thought pattern and form a new one is by stacking small wins. Now, my favorite way to do this, or the way that I've done it in the past, is to play for a team that is slightly below my level. Now, before you click off this video because you already hate this idea, just hear me out. Now, the point here isn't to establish yourself on the team and become the star player. The point here is just to play with them to build your confidence. Now, when I was in Australia back in March to June, I was interning for this boys' academy as a performance analyst. And I found out that this boys' academy actually has a women's team as well attached to it, since they also have, well, a men's team. And I decided to play for that women's team while I was there. Now, within the first few sessions, I kind of figured out that this women's team plays at a level that is below the level that I've normally played at. But because I had just come back from a confidence stint and a year and a half of injuries, I decided to stick around with them. And yes, it was less of a challenge, but what it really helped me do was kind of implement the skills that I already know into this match. It allowed me to express myself, and because of that, I boosted my confidence by so much while playing with them. Now, you're probably listening to this and thinking that it's a waste of time and you should just play with players at your level. And from a certain standpoint, you're not wrong. But if you're really struggling with confidence, this is one of the best ways to boost it. And this club that you play for that is at a lower level, it does not even have to be the main team that you play for. You could just play with them for fun, or you could play with them on the weekends just to kind of hone your skills and try out skills and tricks that you normally wouldn't try out with the main team that you play for. You need a place to practice being confident again, and this would be a great place to start. Now, another way to do this is by doing little actions during training sessions. So you're going to set yourself some goals. And these are not going to be goals like score 2 goals in training or get 3 assists in training. These are going to be goals that you can 100% control. And here are some examples of that. Get 5 shots on target, put 3 balls into the box, make 2 tackles, win your 50-50 challenges, make 3 successful passes forward or diagonal, or save 4 shots if you're a goalkeeper. Set goals that are within your complete control and attempt them during training. Try out different targets every time so that you completely rewire your brain. And yes, you would probably feel anxious at first, even in training, but that's not because you're incapable, it's just because you're unfamiliar. You're leaving your old identity for a new one that will serve you better. This will take time to change, not years, but also not days. You don't need to transform overnight, you don't need to do the impossible. You just have to take a risk today that you didn't take yesterday, and do that again tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I hope you've gained something valuable from this video.